If you're planning a trip to Europe and all you keep seeing online are the same 5 cities, Paris, Rome, London, Barcelona, Amsterdam, this video is for you. Don't get me wrong, all of these cities are amazing. There's a reason why they're usually the first 5 cities that people visit when they go to Europe. But Europe is massive, it's diverse, it's full of cities that are just as beautiful, historic, and memorable without the crowds, chaos, or inflated pricing. Some of my favorite places in Europe are cities that most people have never heard of or they seriously underestimate. So in this video, I'm sharing 10 insanely underrated European cities. The first 5 are places that I've personally been to and can confidently recommend from experience, and the last 5 are cities that I actually haven't visited yet, but they're at the very top of my list and have been recommended to me over and over and over again by locals, travelers, and so many people who know Europe very well. So if you want a calmer, more authentic European experience in 2026, let's get into it. The first is one of my favorite cities in all of Europe, Mostar, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Mostar is one of those places that feels unreal when you first arrive. It's small, walkable, and stunningly beautiful, but still largely overlooked by most travelers. The city is best known for its iconic Starry Most or Old Bridge arching over this turquoise water, but Mostar is so much more than just that postcard view. What makes Mostar special is the mix of cultures. You feel the blend of Ottoman, Balkan, and European influences everywhere, from the architecture to the food to the sound of the call of prayer echoing through the city. It feels deeply historic but still very alive. It's also incredibly affordable compared to Western Europe. Meals are cheap, accommodations are reasonable, and you don't feel like you're constantly being upsold because you're a tourist. Despite its complicated history, the people are warm, welcoming, and proud of their city. Mostar is calm in the mornings and lively in the evenings and never overwhelming. It's the kind of place where you slow down without even really trying to, and that's exactly why it belongs on this list. For more information on this magical city, check out this video. Next, we're heading to Kotor, Montenegro. Kotor feels like a medieval fairy tale tucked into the mountains along the Adriatic Sea. It's dramatic, it's quiet, and it's unbelievably scenic, yet still far less crowded than places like Dubrovnik, Croatia, even though it's just as beautiful. The old town is a maze of narrow stone streets, tiny squares, and historic buildings that feel untouched by time. You can explore the entire center on foot, and no matter where you turn, there's another charming corner or hidden cafe. One of the highlights is hiking up to the fortress above the city. Yes, it's a workout, but the view over the bay is one of the best in Europe. It's that kind of moment where you just stop, you look around, and you think, why aren't more people here? Kotor is also surprisingly peaceful. Even when cruise ships come through, the crowd never feels as intense or constant as in other coastal cities, and once the day trippers leave, the city becomes calm and magical again. So if you want dramatic scenery, history, and a slower pace without tourist overload, Kotor is an absolute gem. We actually did a road trip where we looped around the entire country of Montenegro, starting and ending in Kotor, and it is truly one of my top favorite travel experiences out of all of my travel experiences across 6 continents. So if you're interested in not just a city that's underrated, but also a country, Montenegro is definitely it, and you can check out all the videos from that road trip here. Next is Colmar, France. Colmar looks like it was designed for a movie set. Colorful, half-timbered houses, flower-lined canals, and cobblestone streets. It's almost absurdly charming, and yet compared to Paris or even Strasbourg, it flies under the radar. Located in the Alsace region near the German border, Colmar feels distinctly different from the rest of France. The architecture, food, and culture blend French and German influences in a way that feels very cozy and unique. What makes Colmar special is how livable it feels. It's small, it's walkable, it's calm, you don't feel rushed, you can wander without a plan, stop for coffee, sit by the canals, and just exist. It's especially magical in the shoulder seasons and during Christmas, which is when we went, when the city feels warm, intimate, instead of overrun. And unlike Paris, prices here are a lot more reasonable, especially for food and accommodations. Colmar is perfect if you want that storybook European experience without the stress or scale of a major city. So if you want more information on this magical city, check out this video. Next up, we have Bratislava, Slovakia. Bratislava is one of Europe's most underrated capitals, and it's often often unfairly overlooked because it sits between Vienna and Budapest, and the crazy part is that the train between these two countries runs right through Bratislava. And so many people don't even take the time to just hop off and explore it before continuing on to either one of those cities. It really is the biggest time capsule city in Europe, in my opinion. Like, you truly feel like you've stepped back in time when you get off the train here. The old town is compact, colorful, and super easy to explore. You can walk everywhere, and there's a relaxed, almost small town feel despite it being a capital city. It's lively without being chaotic. Bratislava is also incredibly affordable compared to its neighbors. Food, drinks, and accommodations cost a fraction of what you'd pay in Vienna, but the quality is still high. There's a strong cafe culture, a great local wine, and plenty of green space along the Danube River. It feels young and creative, but not overrun by tourists and influencers. So if you want that European capital that feels approachable, authentic, and calm, Bratislava is a hidden win. So if you want more information on this city, check out this video. This next one is similar to Bratislava in the sense that it's right between two major tourist cities, so it usually gets skipped, but it's Ghent, Belgium, which sits right between Bruges and Brussels, so you should definitely give it a visit when you're traveling between those two cities. It has everything people love about Bruges: medieval architecture, canals, historical buildings, but with a younger, more vibrant energy and way fewer crowds. Ghent is a university city, so it feels alive, creative, and local. The city center is stunning, especially at night when the buildings are softly lit and reflect off the water. You can walk everywhere, and there's always something happening without feeling overwhelming. Ghent also has an incredible food scene, from traditional Belgian dishes to modern plant-based spots and cozy cafes. And unlike Brussels or Bruges, you're not constantly surrounded by tour groups. It's the perfect balance of beauty and livability, and one of my favorite examples of Europe without the crowds. Next, we have Ljubljana, Slovenia. It's one of the greenest, cleanest, and most relaxed capital cities in Europe. Everyone I know who's been there comes back raving about it, and it's so high on my personal list for good reason. The city center is largely car-free, which immediately gives it a calmer, more human feel. A river runs right through the middle of town, lined with cafes, bridges, and outdoor seating. It feels made for slow travel, and it's also incredibly close to nature. It's only a 39-minute train ride to the famous Lake Bled, plus tons of other short train journeys away from other lakes, mountains, and countryside, which makes it ideal if you want city life and adventure, like kind of in one trip. So if you're looking for a capital that doesn't feel hectic, this is one to watch in 2026. At number 7, we have Tallinn, Estonia. Tallinn feels like you're stepping into a medieval fairy tale, but with modern infrastructure and tech-forward energy layered on top. The old town is one of the best preserved medieval centers in all of Europe, with stone walls, towers, and winding streets that feel untouched by time. But just outside the historic core, you'll find sleek cafes, co-working spaces, and digital nomad-friendly vibes. Fun fact, Estonia was actually the first country in Europe to implement a digital nomad visa back in 2020. Tallinn is calm, clean, and incredibly walkable. It doesn't feel crowded, and even during peak seasons, there's a strong sense of order and efficiency. It's also a great city if you like history but don't want the chaos. Museums, viewpoints, and cafes are easy to find without fighting through crowds, so Tallinn feels like the future and the past kind of coexisting quietly, and that's what makes it so appealing. Next up, we have Riga, Latvia. Riga is one of Europe's most visually impressive cities that almost nobody talks about. It's famous for having one of the largest collections of Art Nouveau architecture in the world, and once you see it, you'll wonder why it isn't more popular. The buildings are dramatic, detailed, and absolutely stunning. The city also has a vibrant cultural scene, cafes, markets, nightlife, and a historic old town that feels authentic rather than touristy. It's affordable, walkable, and surprisingly lively. Riga doesn't feel overproduced or polished for tourists. It just feels real, and that's a huge part of the charm. So if you want beauty, history, and culture without the crowds of Western Europe, Riga deserves your attention. For number 9, we're heading to Wrocław, Poland, which is spelled nothing like how it sounds. Wrocław is often overshadowed by Krakow and Warsaw, but many people who visit say it ends up being their favorite city in Poland. It's colorful, lively, and built around rivers and bridges, which gives it a very charming layout. The old town square is vibrant without being overwhelming, and the city feels young thanks to its large student population. It's also known for its playful side, and you'll find hundreds of tiny dwarf statues scattered around the city, which makes exploring feel fun and kind of interactive. It's also affordable, welcoming, and way less touristy than other Polish cities. You get beautiful architecture, great food, and a relaxed pace without crowds. And at number 10, we're traveling to the capital city of the country at the absolute top of my bucket list, Reykjavik, Iceland. Reykjavik is unlike anywhere else in Europe. It feels small, creative, and surrounded by some of the most dramatic landscapes on earth. The city itself is colorful and quirky, with a strong art scene, cozy cafes, and a laid-back atmosphere. It doesn't feel like a typical capital city at all, and what makes Reykjavik special is its connection to nature. You're never too far from geothermal pools, volcanic landscapes, waterfalls, and wide open space. Even though Iceland has grown so much over the past few years in popularity, Reykjavik still feels calm compared to other European cities. The one con this city does have compared to others on the list is that it is not cheap, but the experience does feel worth it. Reykjavik is perfect if you want something different, slower, and deeply connected to nature. Europe is so much bigger than the cities everyone flocks to. These places prove that you don't need massive crowds to have a meaningful, unforgettable experience. So if you're planning to visit Europe in 2026 and want something calmer, more authentic, and more memorable, start looking beyond the obvious cities that everybody visits. Let me know in the comments which of these cities surprised you the most, or which one you'd add to the list. Now let's take a look at my 10 things Americans should not bring to Europe video to help you blend in.